5 Pay It Forward project presentations. I would like to thank the Coshocton Foundation and the Foundation trustees for providing funds for this project, which started with the youth leadership class of 2017. Since that first year, over $10,000 has been returned to the community. And there are many organizations and individuals who contribute to the success of this project, including our funders, the Dunmeyer and Simpson Family Funds and Leadership Coshocton County. And finally, a very special thank you to Claxon Communications for providing the live streaming services for this project. The impact of each individual project is not measured by the financial contribution, but by what the giver learned about stewardship and philanthropy. It has always been the hope and the goal of this project to develop lifelong philanthropists among our young leaders. Please join me in welcoming members of the Coshocton County Youth Leadership Class of 2025 as they share how they made a difference in the lives of another, as well as themselves, through their Pay It Forward projects. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jensen Cunningham, and I am a junior at Ridgewood High School. Today, I am presenting to you my Pay It Forward project. In the 7th grade, my class watched the movie Pay It Forward, and so when Betsy mentioned the Pay It Forward project at recruiting day, I was already somewhat familiar with the idea. We discussed it more with Mr. Pell at opening retreat, and afterwards I had thought about it for multiple hours over the course of several weeks, thinking about what I wanted to do, but I was unsuccessful in coming up with a good idea. Our December program day was about poverty and social services with the Leadership Coshocton County group. And the things that we did that day and the people we talked to made me realize that what I wanted to do for my project, I wanted to help as many people as possible with benefit as many people as I could, some reasons. So I was a little bit disheartened, but I persisted. Was thinking about it some more, and I realized that there was several holidays. And then I remembered that my school sells candygrams. A student can buy for pay $1 and get a card and a piece of candy delivered to a friend. And so I thought maybe I could use that for my project. I missed the Christmas candygram week, but I still had Valentine's Day. So the next day at school, I went and talked to the teacher about running the candygram stand, and I described using it for my Pay It Forward project and giving the proceeds to a charity organization in the community. She asked if I knew that I had to be responsible for everything. She said she was going to be in the Dominican Republic that week, and so she wasn't going to sell them so that I could. She made sure I knew I had to be responsible for everything, and I assured her that I was reliable, and then we discussed the specifics of the project, when, for how long. So because of that, my project was officially more than an idea. My stone was rolling. I knew that I needed to get my project publicized in some way, so I asked the teacher in charge of assigning people to say the morning announcements at school if I could say the announcements and announce my project. She said she forgot to assign people for the first 2 weeks of February and that I was free to do that. So I was very excited about that. Now that my stone was rolling and my project was underway, I realized I needed to find someone to donate to. What would the Pay It Forward project be without a donor? I couldn't think of anything in Coshocton, and so I had to resort to Google. But I Googled charity organizations in my community, and the American Red Cross was at the top of the list. I was somewhat familiar with them because my mom has given a lot of blood, and I gave blood for the second time last week. And I believe what the Red Cross does is a very good thing, helping people through their blood drives, and I also know that they have helped families like Addison and her family. So I knew that it would not go to waste. What I gave would not go to waste, excuse me. I wanted to help lots of people, as I said before, and selling those candygrams and delivering the candygrams would probably make somebody smile or make somebody laugh or brighten somebody's day because they received a silly letter from their friend. And with the proceeds, I could benefit the Red Cross, which could benefit a lot of people as well. At my school, there are 3 lunch periods, and I couldn't very well sit in the cafeteria all the lunch periods because I would miss a lot of class. So every day I set up the stand, I helped set up the stand, and I had friends the first 2 lunch periods who ran the stand for me, and I ran at the 3rd period, my lunch period, and I tore it down. I had some outside people donate some money towards my project, and I also had someone donate candy bars for me to sell. I sold 61 candygrams and 27 candy bars for $1 each, plus the donations, outside donations, and the original $100, I had $258, which is not that much, but I feel like my project impacted more than just one organization or just one person. I felt really, really good about giving because I knew that what I was giving was not just some money that I found lying on the ground. It was the result of the hard work of my friends and that made me feel better about donating. And donating also made me feel like I had a purpose besides taking up space on the earth. And I felt like I was making a difference with somebody in someone's life and not just throwing some money out there. I'm aware that the American Red Cross receives regular donations, and so what I was giving, because it was not very much, might not have seemed like a lot. But I still thought that it was a good thing to donate to. The day that I gave blood, I asked the people working about donating. I told them that I had raised money and done a project to donate to the Red Cross. They seemed surprised that I was a high school student doing that, but also impressed. They told me that they didn't know anything about donations, and so they gave me someone's email. I emailed that person, the representative from Coshocton actually, about donating, and she has not responded to my email, but that's okay. And despite regular donations to the American Red Cross, I'm sure that they would be grateful nonetheless that I have donated to their cause. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Thompson from Ridgewood. So, a couple years ago, on November 25th, one of my friends passed away in a farming accident. So I wanted to make sure that his memory will live forever. Whenever I first learned about the Pay It Forward project, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a scholarship under the name of Austin Hooter. I contacted Austin's mom.
It's okay. It's okay. You got this.
I contacted Austin's mom to ask her if it would be okay. She was very happy to see that something was going to be done. I asked the Coshocton Foundation for help. Bob helped me a lot with finding different resources to go through. My family has helped do chicken dinners for a church in Temperanceville, which is towards Noble County. And my family has our own chicken racks, and we were able to do a chicken dinner. I am part of the junior fair board, so I went to a senior fair board meeting and I asked them, and I said, is it okay if I do a chicken dinner at the fairgrounds? They said yes, but I would have to do it the weekend before the fair. That way I don't have to pay anything to the fair. I used to be in choir and all the plays, so I used their building. They told me yes as long as I helped clean it. So I had the plan set. I knew when I called her, and I asked her to come down and help me. So she came and helped me, set all of it up, and it turned out to be a success. I made over $9,000 at the chicken dinner, and I also had the help of Casey Claxon making me t-shirts to help fundraise it all. A whole bunch of different clubs was able to help me. I had members of Coshocton County Youth Leadership help me out to get their community service hours. I am part of the Ridgewood FFA officer team, so I had many different officers help me. As I said before, I'm part of the Junior Fair Board, so I had not only the kids from Junior Fair Board, but also their families helping me. And I had my family help me. They cooked all the chickens. But I'm not just going to stop here with the fundraising. I'm going to be doing the chicken dinner again next year at the same time. Austin's mom has talked to me about doing a ATV poker run in Bakersville where you would just go around and you can see all the different farms and see how they run them. It's basically like the farm foliage tour, but just in Bakersville. And as I said before, I'm part of Ridgewood FFA. We are done doing the Labor Day tractor pull. I have helped run the Labor Day tractor pull for many different years, and I learned how to do all the math with it, and I learned all the people who participate in it. So Ridgewood FFA gave me the Labor Day tractor pull to make it the Austin Yoder Memorial Tractor Pull. Austin always participated in the tractor pulls, and he had his own tractor that he rolled whenever he was younger, and he got it restored. And that was the tractor that was on the back of the t-shirts. I've also discussed about investing into the stock market to get more funds so then whenever I go off to college, I can eliminate it to only 2 fundraisers to keep it alive. This year, I am able to do a $1,000 scholarship for the first year and then $1,000 for their second year of college for both Ridgewood and Riverview students. I was at first going to do just $2,000 for each school, but whenever I looked more into it, there's not very many scholarships for their second year, and the way that college funding is, this way they could have some funding for their next year. And it's going to people who have been in either FFA or 4-H for 2 years and that they are going into an ag-based study. I hope to see you guys at the chicken dinner next year and the ATV poker run and the Labor Day tractor pull. Thank you.
Is everyone ready? Good morning, everyone. I am Caleb Kline. I am a homeschool junior, and this is my Coshocton County Youth Leadership Pay It Forward presentation. Quote, "What veterans have given our country is beyond our power to fully repay, yet today we recognize their honor." That quote was proclaimed by George W. Bush on Veterans Day, the day that we are supposed to honor and remember veterans and everything they have done for us. Yet, I argue that we should honor and pay respect and remember veterans every day as they sacrifice their life and their limbs for us for the freedom that we so hold dear. Even though I came to the conclusion that I wanted to help veterans, how did I get there? I have to say, at first, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But then I took a step back and I looked at the most influential people in my life. My dad, Frank Kline, who was a Marine for 20 years. My godfather, Uncle Todd Hester, who was a Marine for 20 plus years and served with my dad for 5. And David Lloyd, or as he is more famously known by the few of you here who has met him, Uncle Cool. He served with my dad for 4 years in Hawaii, and he served for over 20 years in the Marine Corps in total. That's when I decided and I focused on veterans. And I witnessed how underappreciated they really are in today's day and age. These are people who sacrifice themselves for us, and for the freedom that we so hold dear. And even though we call it freedom, I do have to say, freedom is not free. Throughout history, somebody has had to step up to the plate and fight for our country, and that is what veterans do. So I held a meeting with Doug Schaefer at the local VA and discussed with him the local organizations that help veterans. And that's when he told me about Operation Veterans Helping Veterans, or OVHV. Operation Veterans Helping Veterans is a local nonprofit based out of West Lafayette. And in Doug's own words, they do the most with what they have. The most recent occurrence of when they were able to help veterans was a local veteran was in a horrific car accident in which he was paralyzed from the neck down. Operation Veterans Helping Veterans was able to purchase and install ramps at this veteran's home. Additionally, they have helped veterans in ways that a veteran's washing and drying machine broke down, causing damage to their home. They were in financial trouble, so they were able to purchase a new washer and dryer and install them and pay for their damaged house. So after hearing stories like that, I knew I wanted to fundraise so I could help them the most that I could. However, just like when I first started, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So after brainstorming with my parents and doing research, I decided that I wanted to do a raffle basket. But then I was met with the question of just what would I raffle off? And then I looked to the community and saw how much they are willing to help people in times of need. So I went around to a plethora of local businesses and asked if they would be willing to donate gift cards or merchandise or whatever they could to help my cause. And this is when I'd like to thank all those businesses who showed me unwavering support. I will not name them here today for time's sake, but you know who you are, and the winner of the basket does as well. These local businesses were able to raise over $1,000 worth of gift cards and merchandise and product for my raffle basket. That's when I knew that I needed to start selling tickets. So I advertised it online and went to multiple basketball games, including Riverview games. And thank you to Mr. Branch, Mr. Rinkus, and Mrs. Wesney for allowing me to set a booth up and for helping me set it up. Then I went to meetings, and that is when I formally met Operation Veterans Helping Veterans Director Brian Hawkins. On February 7th, I sold my final ticket at the junior high boys basketball game at the Coshocton Christian School at the Tabernacle, in which Tim Eberhard won the basket. And then after selling tickets for a little over a month, I was able to prevent Operation Veterans Helping Veterans representative Stephanie Hawkins $1,520. Stephanie also gave out t-shirts at the game. Completing this Pay It Forward project was truly an amazing experience. It meant the world to me to help a group that I knew personally and that helped every single American by fighting for their freedom. Thank you to all the once again, thank you to all the businesses who helped me, thank you to everyone who bought tickets, and thank you to all the places that allowed me to sell tickets. I hope this helps you understand what veterans go through and help you appreciate them more. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Emily Maple. I'm a junior at Ridgewood High School and I'm a member of the Coshocton County Youth Leadership Class of 2025. For my Pay It Forward project, I decided to help my church's food pantry. I've been a member of the Conesville United Methodist Church for 17 years now, my entire life, and they have this food pantry. It's sort of like a food pantry. It's like an organized food pantry where we give out bags to people in need. So Helping Hands has been in operation for over 10 and a half years. We have pre-made grocery bags that are given out on the third Thursday of every month with non-perishable food items in them. During the holiday months, November and December, we give out ham and turkeys to individuals in need, and this is all done for free with volunteers and help. I chose to support Helping Hands because I've been closely associated with it for a very, very long time. I know what goes into every single bag, and I know exactly the number of items I need to put in. My mother and I have been very closely associated with Helping Hands for a long time. It was sort of our passion project. It meant a lot to us, and that's how we landed this decision to help Helping Hands. There's a lot of trust in my church, and we're a very close-knit community. Everyone knows everyone, and it's very loving. And so I trusted that what I was doing would be beneficial and help a lot of people. And I was also very struck by the rising poverty in our county, and going through the poverty simulation really showed me that you don't know what someone's going through until you're in their shoes. And I wanted to help that in any way I could. On January 18th at Bueller's Fresh Foods, I collected monetary and food donations. I'm very thankful for their kindness and allowing me to do this at their store. And it was sort of a mutually beneficial thing because people were coming in and seeing the list I had made of items for Helping Hands, and they were buying things that they wouldn't have bought. So it was very wonderful. In total, I raised $1,073, including the $100 I was given at the start of my project, and 296 food items. I couldn't have done any of this without my wonderful parents, and they've been the most awesome support system in helping me with everything I do, so I love them very much. All the proceeds went directly to my church and to Helping Hands. How I felt as the giver and during this project, I always wanted to make a change in the world. I've always had this need for change, a desire to change the things that we need to change, but I never knew how. And in doing this, it made me realize that anything is possible if you do it out of the kindness of your heart, if you do it out of empathy and out of love. And I'm so grateful, not only for my parents, but my entire support system, my friends here with me today, my church family, my friends in the performing arts. People showed up to Bueller's that I haven't seen in so long, and they came to support me and give me money. And it just showed me how lucky I was to have people like that in my life. My church was very thankful for my efforts, and they were proud of me since, of course, they've known me for a long time, and they were proud of what I was doing to help them. Donations can sometimes be hard to come by for Helping Hands. I know we've had financial struggles when trying to keep Helping Hands running, but my efforts have provided a surplus of funds and food items for the foreseeable future. I believe that what I have done will have a great impact on myself, my church, and those who were helped. In conclusion, I'm fortunate to have been given this opportunity by the Coshocton Foundation. It has been a remarkable experience in every single aspect. I'm proud of myself, but I'm also proud of my wonderful peers who are here with me today, who are just as dedicated as myself. And I'm so excited and to hear what you are going to say or what you have already said. I think that this whole project shows the human spirit and how incredible it is that people can come together and lean on each other in this way. In the end, everyone is capable of making their community better in their own way. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Parker Loomis. I go to Coshocton High School, and when I was given the $100 by Coshocton County Youth Leadership, I wanted to turn it into something bigger to give back to the community. I knew I wanted to make the most of this opportunity. I decided that I would raise money for an organization that I truly love, the Coshocton County Animal Shelter. My love for this organization comes from my love of all animals, such as cats and dogs. I decided I wanted to raise money for the shelter, and my goal was to help out animals in any way possible. But I also decided that I would try and spread awareness of the multiple local businesses around Coshocton. After deciding what organization I wanted to donate to and what awareness I wished to spread, I then had to come up with a way to make money. After a lot of thinking, I decided to create a gift basket raffle, something that I believed would catch the eyes of many. And I knew a way to integrate local businesses into it. I reached out to many local businesses asking for donations to make the basket something truly special. The response I received was incredible. Thanks to the generosity of the local businesses such as Ace Hardware, That Glass Girl, Spring Mountain Apiary, Jean's Jewelry, Tastefully Simple with Susie Mann, Earl's Dairy, Kathy's Sewing Service, Sweet Escape, Amicis, Yucatan, Miss Jennifer's Dance Studio, and Pampered in the Pines, the raffle became an amazing collection of gifts and experiences worth far more than I could have imagined. With the incredible basket in hand, I started selling raffle tickets, both online through Facebook and at 2 of my own high school's basketball games. The support I received from the community throughout selling these tickets was overwhelmingly positive. In the end, what started out as $100 soon turned into a $700 donation for the animal shelter. Animals in need often rely on the kindness of people, and I'm glad I was able to play my part in providing help for them. Being able to give the shelter this money, knowing that it soon will help many animals in the future, filled me with a great sense of pride in what I was doing. Even with this filling me with pride, I know I didn't raise this money alone. None of this would have been possible without the incredible generosity of our local businesses, the support of everyone who purchased a ticket, and the encouragement I received along the way. This project taught me so much about leadership, teamwork, and the power of the community. It showed me that a small idea backed by determination and support can turn into something impactful. So to everyone who played a part in this project, whether through a donation, buying a ticket, or simply giving words of encouragement, thank you. None of this would have been possible without you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deakon Ames, and I am a junior at Riverview High School. I'm also part of the Coshocton County Youth Leadership Class of 2025. And for my Pay It Forward project, I also decided to donate my money to the Coshocton County Animal Shelter. I donated to the animal shelter because I love animals, and growing up, I have always just found myself going towards animals because they bring me like peace and comfort. And now that I'm older and I understand like a vast majority of different experiences, I feel that donating to the animal shelter is a great way to show that. I had saw online through Facebook posts where they need help, and like newspapers and tons of different articles where they needed help, and they've just received like an influx of animals being dumped at their door. And I got to experience this firsthand after one of my teen leadership projects that I did there. After we did our project there, we got to tour the facility, and we got to what I would call their cat room. It wasn't anything special. It was just where they had all of their cats. And I'm not really sure what I was expecting whenever I walked in there, but I walked in and I saw what would probably be like 24 cats that just looked rough. They looked like they hadn't received any love or care, or proper love, care, or attention in years. And that moment really stuck with me, and I knew that donating to the animal shelter was probably the best thing for me. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering what my money actually went to there. Well, like I mentioned previously with my Teen Leadership Corps project, we had to build like these weatherproof cat houses that were there, and the money that I donated to them pretty much just reimbursed them for all the supplies that we used. I feel like this experience was not just about donating money. I believe that if enough of us did it and did it well, that it would have like a ripple effect in the community. And I feel like that I didn't just help the animals. I helped the shelter because I was able to reimburse them and they didn't have to spend their money for the materials for the cat houses. I helped the staff. Well, me and my teen leadership peers helped the staff because they didn't have to spend countless hours to build these cat houses. It helped my teen leadership peers because we were able to do something meaningful together and build a stronger bond. But I would say most importantly, it helped me. It helped me see that giving back isn't always about what or how much you give. It's about recognizing need and taking action. One thing I hope you take away from this is that we all have the power to make a difference. And whether it's donating, volunteering, or spreading awareness, like everything counts. And who knows? Maybe one small act of kindness will lead to another and another until kindness is something we pay forward every single day. Thank you.
Hello, my name is JoAnn Thompson and I'm a junior at Riverview High School. When we were given the task of completing this Pay It Forward project, I was unsure of what I wanted to do. I was listening to the ideas of the class that came before me and my peers in this class, and I still was left with nothing. I finally came up with an idea when teen leadership was given the project of the Alumni Hall of Honor, which was an idea from our superintendent, Mr. Rinkus. We inducted 6 alumni that made impacts and really took on the role of being a black bear. As soon as you walk in the front doors, there's a sign that says leaving a legacy, and these people really left their own legacy. Whether that was through the community, education, agriculture, business, music, or service, they left their own legacy and made their own paths. The inductees were Kyle Knuckle, who was a member of the state championship basketball team and a superintendent, David Lapp, who was dedicated to agriculture and education, Ryan McPeak, who was an entrepreneur and community leader, Timothy Myers, who was principal trombone of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra, Larry Pepper, who was dean of students and involved in the community, and Lynn Wells, who was a professor and active community member and takes pictures at most of the school-sponsored events. Each of these inductees were given a $100 donation to any organization at Riverview High School. Kyle Knuckle, David Lapp, and Lynn Wells all donated their gift back to teen leadership, but Ryan McPeak donated his money to the swim team, Timothy Myers donated his money to the Jessica Civic Instrument Fund, and Larry Pepper donated his money to the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. These people were honored at a basketball game and announced, and their picture now hangs in our hallways. Going into this event, we really thought that it was important to honor those before us because they bridge the gap of the past and the future. If we don't honor our alumni, then they are the ones that we need to recognize for their accomplishments. This was something that I knew I wanted to be a part of and that I wanted to give my money to because I thought that it was important to bridge that gap together and make us all a community. I think that this project helped make our community stronger because recognizing who came before us helps get their support of our present and everyone that is still part of the school. Everyone came to this basketball game, and even after they were recognized, they stuck around and supported everyone and all of the students at our school. So that's why I wanted to give back to this project. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Hallie, Balo, and I'm a junior at Riverview High School. When I was given the $100, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Because there was this spark that I've always had, and it's a drive for sports and people who want to do sports. And so Michelle Wright, she is a physical therapist and an athletic trainer at Riverview. And she has this passion to let kids carry out their dreams through sports with anything that they need. So she takes her own money and she goes out and she buys snacks for the kids. She buys equipment for the kids so they don't have to stop pursuing what they love. And so with my $100, I decided to help Michelle so kids can continue to reach their goal. And I had a very hard time last year, and Michelle helped me come out of that. So I broke my foot pretty badly, and I was told that I was probably never going to be able to play volleyball again, which is very heartbreaking because that's something that I really love. And so I was in a boot and crutches for 6 months, and I finally got released in July. And I was told I was not going to be able to play school volleyball, probably wouldn't even be able to play club right now. And with the help of Michelle, I reached my goal of getting to play in high school season, and I ended up beating a bunch of my goals that I had set when I was really, really young. So Michelle's drive and her love for kids really just shows the type of person she is, and I personally wanted to become somebody like her and have an impact on those kids. So we went out and we bought food and shoes for kids. We've bought shorts and shirts in case they need some. And so it made me feel different about our community, just that one person can have such a big impact on many other kids. And so for that reason, I just decided I'd give my $100 to Michelle so I could have immediate impact and let kids live out their dreams like she let me live out mine. Thank you.
morning. My name is Jillian Guthrie, and I'm a junior at Ridgewood High School. For our Pay It Forward project, we were given $100 and told to make a difference in somebody's life. So I looked back on my own life and thought about who's made the biggest impact on me, and I came to the conclusion that it was my community or more my school. When I was thinking about how I could make an impact on my school, I thought about blessing bags. Blessing bags are bags of non-perishable food items that are given to the less fortunate kids in my school district. I decided to do this because I knew these bags made a big impact on my friends. Children growing up should be more focused on keeping their grades up and making lasting memories, not whether or not they're going to go to bed hungry. Adequate nutrition is very important, especially for a child. Growing up with malnourishment can lead to stunted growth, weakened immune systems, and it can also make it difficult to focus in school, and it can lead to having negative moods such as aggression or mood swings. When you're in school, one of the most important things is being able to focus. If you can't focus, you can't keep up your grades, you can't learn, and having negative moods constantly can make it hard to make friends. Those are two of the most important things for a kid, like their education, their friends, and not being able to have those as a child can lead to you maybe feeling shame that will stick with you for the rest of your life. The school years are the most important to a child. This is when you learn who you are, what you want to be, and how you're going to do that. Looking back on your school years as a person, you should look back upon happy memories, not constantly feeling fear or stress about your living situation. To make my idea a reality, I contacted Michelle Stouffer. Michelle Stouffer runs Teen Institute. This is an organization where juniors and seniors at our school go to the elementary to spend time with the preschoolers. We make arts and crafts, we eat snacks with them, and we play games with them. And Michelle Stouffer also runs the blessing bags. When I brought up my idea to her, I could see like that joy on her face. Like she was excited about this. I've always been the kind of person that like planning is very stressful for me, but when I saw that reaction from her, it made me feel excited. One of the suggestions she had was a bake sale, and that's what we ended up deciding to do. At one of the Ridgewood basketball games, we brought baked goods, and we also got money and food donations from people in the community, such as our mayor, and a lot of friends and family helped us bake food. We ended up selling brownies, chocolate chip cookies, snickerdoodles, sugar cookies, and cookies.
Lahmers, and I'm a junior at Ridgewood High School, and I'm a graduate of the CCYL class of 2025. Last year, May 25th of 2024, me and my brother were home alone whenever our house caught on fire, and I ended up calling 911, and the West Lafayette Fire Department showed up and helped us out. And while all of this was happening, like they were dealing with the fire, a random car showed up in my driveway, and it was the Red Cross, and they were trying to talk to us, and we had like no idea what they wanted. So we were like just listening to them as they just rambled on until my parents got home, and they ended up giving us a lot. They gave us money, and they gave us goodie bags, they gave us food, a lot. And the West Lafayette Fire Department ended up saving about half of our house, so we ended up getting a lot of our items back, so we didn't end up losing as much as we thought we were going to. So whenever we were given the Pay It Forward project, I immediately knew who I wanted to do this about, so I just didn't know how I was going to go about that. So I ended up doing a bake sale at a Ridgewood basketball game, but the same day that the girls and boys played, so I ended up doing it 2 games in one day, and I ended up making around $1,000. So I split up those funds and went and donated $500 to the fire department and $500 to the Red Cross. And the Red Cross, I couldn't really figure out how to donate, but my dad found a page where I could just mail in a check. So I assumed they get a lot of donations, so they probably weren't ecstatic about $500, but it still felt good. And it says specifically for like home fires, so it's giving back to what they gave us originally. And then I gave $500 to the West Lafayette Fire Department, and they were just ecstatic and overjoyed, and they gave me flowers and a ride in their fire truck. They were amazing. But yeah, making a difference in my community just felt amazing, and being able to give back to those people who gave back to us in our worst time just felt great. I want to thank the Lady Generals and the Ridgewood Boys Basketball Booster Club for allowing me to set up my bake sale during those times.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Hallie, Wallace, and I'm a junior at Riverview High School. When I first heard about the Pay It Forward project, I'm not going to lie, I had no clue what I was going to do. I saw all my CCYL classmates and making great ideas, and some even doing their Pay It Forward project before we even technically got the money. I was worried, was I falling behind? And what was going to be meaningful enough to give my $100 to. One day, then, I was sitting at school, and I realized that I could give it to the Coshocton Courthouse Illumination Project. This project is very close to my heart for many reasons. I believe it strengthens the holiday spirit, which is something that I love. I love the holidays, not just for the gifts and decorations, but for the joy and togetherness and warmth that it brings. There's something very magical about seeing the town lit up, as well as bringing people together in celebration. It unites communities. It unites the community, and that's something I've always wanted to be involved in. And this project does exactly that. I'm sort of personally connected to this project. For the past 2 years, I've been involved in helping with the fundraising opportunities through my senior project. This has been incredibly rewarding to me, giving me a chance to engage with the community, make meaningful connections, and to feel like I was making a difference in the community. This project is led by the Coshocton County Commissioner's Office, where they plan events to raise money for the lights, the maintenance of the lights, and to expand onto the courthouse lawn as well as the gazebo. They've done many different fundraising events, 2 Santa's Christmas carnivals, a letter writing campaign, and the Powerhouse Cruise on Main Street. This, along with the donation box on the court square, has raised $83,000 since September of 2023. The Santa's Christmas Carnival was a carnival for kids ages from 2 to 10, where they could make cookies, make an ornament, meet Santa, make reindeer feed, and meet the Grinch. In the first year, there was 63 kids, and it raised nearly $1,000. In year 2, they expanded, adding bounce houses, hot chocolate and donuts, and many other things, which drew around 103 kids and raised about $1,555. Next was the letter writing campaigns, where they sent a letter out to all the businesses in Coshocton asking if they had any money left over or anything to give to the project. This raised about $30,000 and gave the money to light all 4 sides of the courthouse this year, and as well as the gazebo. Next was the Powerhouse Cruise on Main. This was where people could come in and do a burnout on Main Street, as well as doing a car show. And that was really fun to be a part of. It was so much fun seeing how much joy it brought people to do a burnout on Main Street. You wouldn't think that. It was a huge success, and I'm not sure the exact amount that one raised, but it was a lot. Looking ahead, there's going to be more fundraisers, like another letter writing campaign and a Night at Third Races event for adults. These events will help expand decorations and support the existing lights. At first, I was thinking I wasn't sure how much $100 would make a difference. But I was reassured, no matter how big or small the donation is, it's still valuable. This $100 that I gave is going to help in many ways. It could buy stamps for the letter writing campaign, cover some electricity costs, help maintain and repair lights, or buy special displays for the courthouse lawn. This project is incredibly special to me, and it's not just because of the money. I was able to contribute to a cause that mattered to me. The excitement on people's faces showed that even a small amount could mean a lot. Before, I'd only given like $20 to someone, and it's just not the same as being able to give someone $100 and show that excitement, what it really meant to people. Through this Pay It Forward project, I learned many lessons. I learned the first-hand power of giving and how even a small act of kindness can have such a big impact. And that when people know that you are really thinking of their cause, it makes them very happy. When I went in there to give the money to Mary, Beck, and Robin Schonauer, they were like so happy. They basically jumped in excitement. Like it was very nice to see them that happy that I was thinking about their cause. This is most importantly taught me that generosity is not about the size but the intention behind it. Even though the $100 was a small part of the total money raised, it still made a difference. It showed me the appreciation for giving back to the community and has inspired me to continue to help others in any way I can. My hope is that my contributions, no matter how small, will inspire others to find ways to give back. If we all take the time to support what matters to us, no matter the amount of money or time, we can cause a ripple effect of generosity and kindness. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Marissa Sheneman, and I go to Riverview High School. This year, I had the privilege of being in the Coshocton County Youth Leadership Class of 2025. I live in a small community outside of Warsaw called Nellie, and there are many, many stray cats there. I would estimate around 50 of them. Many of these cats carry different sicknesses and diseases, and they're also very hungry. The community does their best to feed them, but most of them are scared of people and won't approach or go on our porches, which is where most of the community leaves the food. Several litters of kittens are also born every year, and the kittens also are sick, and they don't get enough food. My family has personally taken care of several kittens over the past few years that we've lived in Nellie. We've helped make supplemental formula and made little places for them to stay warm. This has also taken up many hours of our time. Even with all of our care, several of them still passed away. Nellie's town council has tried to help by catching the cats, taking them to the vet, and getting them spayed or neutered. But this can be very costly as there are many, many cats there. So for my project, I would like to help with this cost. I used the original $100 from the Coshocton Foundation to buy ingredients to have a bake sale at a basketball game. I chose to do this in the hopes that I could raise more than the original $100 that I received. This was rather successful, and I raised roughly $300. When choosing what I wanted to do for my project, I considered just buying a large amount of cat food. However, this doesn't address the underlying issue, as the cat population would continue to rise in Nellie and they would eventually be hungry again. So I decided it was best to give the funds to the town council. I haven't actually given my funds yet because this is a rather large project that is going to require more funds than what I've raised so far. That is why I have chosen to keep my project ongoing until at least the spring. I will continue raising money by collecting donations and having more bake sales. If there's any funds left over afterwards, I will use it
to purchase small shelters for the cats to have. My project will have a positive impact on all of the cats in Nellie as well as the community. As the population of cats continues to rise there, the community feels the pressure to keep buying more and more food to try to help them out. While I can't yet say how it feels to give the funds, it makes me happy to take time out of my day to work on a project that I'm passionate about. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Autumn Joyce, and I attend Ridgewood High School, and I am in the class of 2025 Coshocton County Youth Leadership. When I was first given my $100, I had no idea how I would make a difference, but I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be passionate about what I did, and so that when I gave my money, it really made a difference and an impact on me. But I was not sure what that would be. I asked friends and family if they knew of an organization or someone who was in need, and they had many great ideas, but nothing really connected with me. One day, while talking with my parents, veterans were brought up in our conversation. My family has had and currently has many people who serve in the military. Without people serving in the military, our country would never be where it is today. There have been and continue to be countless casualties for people who serve in the military. There are people who make the ultimate sacrifice, leaving family and friends behind. These people are remembered and known for their bravery and courage, forever respected. So, with all of this in account, I finally made the decision to donate my money to an organization for veterans. I heard of Operation Veterans Helping Veterans through the annual Ruck Walk. I researched the organization to look up the specifics and see what they do for veterans. And after contacting them through the number listed on their Facebook page, I asked if it would be okay if I donated my money, and then I began planning how I would raise money in addition to the $100 I was provided. After much consideration and too much time spent only contemplating what I could do and being scared of the next steps that came, I finally decided that I would create a 50-50 in order to raise money. Instead of tickets, I sold slots, which were essentially just numbers that I sold for $5 each. I did this because as soon as the idea came up with, I was able to print out a paper and immediately begin to start selling them. My goal was to sell 200 slots so that I would make $1,000 and be able to give $500 to Operation Veterans Helping Veterans. There were many times when I said I didn't think I'd be able to sell 200, but I would at least try, which was all I could do. But on the first day, I sold almost 100 slots. And everyone I asked, no one told me no. With the help of teachers, family, and friends, I sold all 200 slots many days before I originally planned. The support I received far surpassed my expectations. On February 17th, the winner of the 50-50 was chosen. The winner was Steve Keene, who was a gentleman my dad had met through work. I gave the money to my dad so he could give my congratulations and the money to Mr. Keene. After briefly talking with my dad, Mr. Keene asked if he could give the $500 back to me so I could donate to Operation Veterans Helping Veterans. Because of Mr. Keene's generous and very appreciated act of kindness, the money I was able to donate immediately doubled. I also asked businesses and people who were willing for monetary donations. Reaching out to businesses was the hardest part for me because I was scared to talk to new people and the fear of rejection. On the first day, I got myself so worked up that I had a headache and I felt sick, but the people were actually very kind. And on the second day, it was a lot easier and a lot more pleasant experience when asking for donations because I was more prepared for their reactions. I received many donations from local businesses and people in the community. On numerous occasions, people asked if the amount of money they gave was enough or if a certain amount would be okay to give, which surprised me. No matter how small the donation, every penny matters and has the potential to make a difference. When I received $50 from the boot store in Coshocton, the man said, "I know it isn't a lot, but I get asked for donations all the time." I was caught off guard because at the time it was one of the big. In both situations, I assured them that their donations were sufficient and that I was thankful for them. With this experience, I realized that oftentimes we undervalue how much of a difference we can make with things we consider to be insignificant or not enough. I was also able to see and feel how things I view as challenging are actually simple, and sometimes I just need to relax. I have said and mentally known this for a long time, but through this project, I was able to put this into perspective. Making a difference is often seen as something that takes a lot and is hard, but in reality, making a difference can be done with even the smallest amount and isn't as difficult as we see it. In total, I made $1,615. I have not presented the money to Operation Veterans Helping Veterans at the moment, but I am looking forward to when I do. Knowing I'm able to make a difference in people's lives and doing it in real time empowers me to continue helping others and to continue the cycle of giving back. I am thankful for the opportunity I was provided with to make a difference in someone's life, and it has really opened my eyes to just how easy it really is to pay it forward. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Savannah Babcock, a junior at Riverview High School and a member of the Coshocton County Youth Leadership Class of 2025. So before I tell you about my project, I want to tell you a little bit about myself and why this project is so important to me. I've always known from a very young age that I was intended to help others, and I've always had a strong inclination towards doing that by it being involved in healthcare. When I was a freshman in high school, I was made aware of an opportunity in which I could take a 2-week-long course that would allow me to earn my STNA certification and began working as an aide at a nursing home. So I prayed about it, and I really felt like God had put it on my heart that I needed to do it. So when I turned 16 last summer, I took the class and began working as an aide in a nursing home. And I immediately knew that it was a good decision to help jumpstart my career and get on the right path as a future healthcare professional. And I really knew that being a STNA has helped my passion just further deepen for helping others. While working, I've shared many stories with residents, some beautiful stories that I've laughed with them, others where I've cried with them as they share their terribly horrible backstories. To go along with this, some residents are luckier than others. They get family members who visit them every day and bring them anything they could ever need and provide money for them, and others, they don't have any family, and the state sets a budget of less than $100 a month for every resident to survive off of, which is just not sufficient to survive. I know I couldn't survive off of only $100 a month. And because of this, for example, if a resident has a slipper that has a hole in it and that's how they get around, or they need new shampoo, they're probably going to have to choose the slipper. So because of this, they're forced to use what I call hospital-grade soap, or toiletries in general, which are unscented and not good quality, and they just don't feel as clean as they deserve to feel. And self-care is so important for not only our physical health, but also our mental health. I know I feel better after a clean shower. I feel like I smell good, and it just helps you feel so much more confident and comfortable. And the residents are the same. They were once teenagers too. They were once working members of society like us, and they deserve to be treated the same way. After seeing this issue, I immediately knew when I heard that I would get to do this project that I wanted to collect toiletries for these residents in need. Since social media is so prevalent these days, I immediately took to social media, shared my story, shared my residents' stories, and asked for either monetary or toiletry donations. Almost overnight, I was absolutely overwhelmed by the support from our community and the donations that I had received. I also contacted many businesses who were extremely gracious and donated almost $1,000 to my cause. One of my most surprising donations was from an old bus driver, Miss Kim Bosley, who has always tried to teach her bus riders good values and how to be a good person in the community one day. And when she heard about my project, she actually started a toiletry fund on my bus, and she asked students to learn a little bit about philanthropy and help teach them what it's like to give back to others. And because of this, she raised nearly $500 worth of toiletry items. After weeks, my project is still ongoing as I have hundreds of toiletry items to sort through and continue buying. And I'm hoping to start donating to where I work, Sycamore Run in Millersburg, and Alter Care here in Coshocton within the next month or so. I'm currently equally sorting as best as I can and hoping to get as many items as I can to each nursing home. This has been a tedious process, but so rewarding, and it's taught me so much about the graciousness and kindness of our community. This project has been one of my proudest accomplishments. I've never felt so good about something. I always felt like there was something in my life missing, like I needed to do something for somebody, and this project has helped fill that. So I've decided that next year I will continue this project as a senior project, and I hope to one day pass it down to another student who feels as passionately about this cause as I do. I feel extremely lucky to give back to those who served our community for many years and helped serve for generations like ours to be able to have these things and do stuff like this. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is JJ Herman from Coshocton City Schools. I'm a junior in the graduating class of 2025 in Coshocton County Youth Leadership. For my Pay It Forward project, I decided to donate to the Salvation Army. It took me a long time to figure out why I should donate. I thought back to my life and my parents, and I really haven't had many problems growing up. Like, I've had a steady home with good parents and a good income. But whenever I think of problems, I think of the less fortunate and the people who need things like clothing, shelter, and food. And I think, who can help them? The Salvation Army not only helps people who are less fortunate, they pray for them too. I'm thankful for CCYL to give me this experience to donate, to give me that feeling of joy whenever I see that person's face, whenever they are thankful for this donation. And I feel like the leaders in here are doing such goodness and kindness that the community of Coshocton is very bright and the future has many wonders to hold. Thank you, and good day.
It takes a community, and I would like to thank this community for their very generous support of the youth, of the variety of projects. Thank you for the donations, for the sponsorships, and for the ticket purchases. I want to thank the schools for their support, Mr. Kowalski and Mr. Loomis from Coshocton High School, Mr. Maslowski and Mr. Stouffer from Ridgewood High School, Mr. Rinkus and Mr. Branch from Riverview High School, and Mr. Colvin and Mr. Slaughter from the Coshocton County Career Center. I'd like to once again thank the Coshocton Foundation, Bob Pell, Executive Director, and the Foundation trustees, Barb Emmons, Kathy Thompson, and Bruce Wallace, for their support and for the idea behind this project. As we have seen today, no matter how great or small, we all can have an impact in our community. We have seen that through these students today. They have made such a difference. They've made a difference in their communities. They've made a difference in their own hearts. And I can say, speaking for myself, they've made a difference in my life and in my heart as well. So I want to personally thank each and every one of you for putting your heart, your soul, your creativity, and sharing your passion with all of us today through your Pay It Forward projects. Very, very well done, and thank you very much. Breathe a sigh of relief. Great job, everybody. Great job. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes.